When you were dating somebody, I don't think y'all understand how important it is to know if they the first child, the second child, or only child, the last child. That is valuable information because a lot of times y'all will be dating somebody and not understand why they like to be babied or why they don't rely on you. But if you would have just like taken into account like, oh, they're the oldest, they're the youngest, that would answer all your questions. And I think it's one of those early questions we ask like, oh, how many siblings you got? And we don't value that information to kind of assess what type of person they are. Because honestly, that can explain up to 60% of issues, or like if you have an oldest daughter dating a youngest son, or you have an oldest son dating a youngest daughter in the family tree, like, or you have middle children, like that explains so much the way people act a certain way. Because more times than not, when you're dating somebody, you get to a point where you're asking yourself, like, why do they have these certain habits? And if you know and really take the time to think about, oh, they were an only child, I can kind of see why they act this way. And it goes this way even with friends too. It doesn't even have to be a relationship, but I can tell it helps. It would help a lot in a relationship, but you can kind of start paying attention to your friends' habits and be like, okay, I see why you're an only child. I see why you do this like this. You're the oldest. You know what I'm saying? So pay attention to that. Don't just ask just to see how many siblings they got. See where they fall, because that will explain 70, 80, 90% of their habits.